West Coast or California weather, as you want to call it, even though it's in Arizona or Las Vegas, in the next couple of years. But we got great weather, great new stadiums as well. So the NFL definitely wants to showcase those. But, it beats being, somewhere on the East Coast. I know, sometimes Florida will get the Super Bowl, right, because they got good weather as well. But, yeah, they're going to be hanging out on the West Coast for the next several years. But a week from Sunday will be the Super Bowl. We do have the Pro Bowl this weekend if you're into that. We do, if you like to see that sort of thing. But we do have NFL football this weekend.
I do kind of think that's cool. It's in Vegas. I'm really hoping for a skills competition because I've always loved those.
Yeah, I thought I saw him teasing something about a skills competition on Instagram. I wasn't sure if that was something you knew about, Pep, or
Yeah, the skills competition. Didn't they do that before? And it's almost more intriguing to see them go through a skills competition than it is to play an actual real, football game. Like no one's really into seeing these guys go, 50, 60, 70% on the football field as opposed to, I want to see if Aaron Rodgers can throw it through a 3-foot wide net from 50 yards away. You know what I mean? Like that kind of intrigues me more so than, seeing them actually try to play an actual game.
Always loved the skills competition. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. It's so Pro Bowl weekend and then Super Bowl weekend. But, as we lead into the Super Bowl, obviously that's the big news. But the NFL, man, it just never stops. There's always football news coming out each and every day. In fact, we just saw the, Tom Brady officially retire, right? He put it out there. So we heard it from the GOAT himself on Tuesday that he's retiring from the NFL after 22 seasons, 7 Super Bowls, the whole deal. Although I still feel like he's going to get the itch at some point. I don't know. I'm not calling him Brett Favre, but I feel like he might get the itch and be like, I don't know. Maybe I could still go out there one more time.
I think it's hard because he seems like the most competitive human being on earth. So for him to stop competing, I think is tough for us to accept. I actually think this may be it. I'm all over the place on this.
I think he disappears. I think him and his family have spent enough time for the football thing. I think he is the type of guy that is ready to just disappear with Giselle and the family and just kind of be gone for a while.
Pep, he did say that about the family, but he also said the treatments were taking longer and longer and longer, and it was taking more to get himself up for a game just physically. He's always there mentally, but at 44 years old, he's done.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Shoot, I'm in my early 40s. I feel it. And I don't even play football, so I totally get it. But would I love to see him play another year? Yeah, of course. I'd love to see Tom Brady out there another year. But I really don't feel too sorry for him with his millions and millions of dollars and mansions and supermodel wife. He's gonna be all right. I think he's gonna be all right away from football.
Yeah, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah. Guys, Washington Commanders. How does that sound to you? Because, listen, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I kind of liked the Washington football team. It kind of stood out. It was kind of awkward and weird in the beginning. It kind of grew on me, but they're going to be the Commanders going forward. What's your thoughts on that?
I think initially they all feel weird because when I heard the first Washington football team, I was like, oh, it's dumb. They're not going to have a name. So, of course, the Commanders comes out. So the immediate reaction is, that's dumb. I could see it eventually growing on us. But I am like you. The Washington football team did give it kind of a classic, timeless feel. I thought they were going to maybe stick with that, but Commanders it is.
Yeah, I think, pretty much like you're saying, 2 years from now, Commanders will feel normal and it won't feel as weird. But right now it feels really weird. And I think there were some better options, but they had some trademark and copyright issues that they had to deal with. And I think it almost kind of feels like they're settling a little bit.
It does feel like that. And there is a little bit of flack they're taking on the internet, of course, about how, they got rid of a name that was, against Native Americans. And now they named it a commander, basically the commander-in-chief, which is an elite white person who put the Native American in there in the first place.
Listen, you're never gonna win. Whether you stayed with the Redskins or you pick a new name, you're not gonna win with everybody. But maybe in a couple of years from now, we'll look back and be like, oh, the Commanders, man, that was a cool name. I'm glad they picked that. Maybe.
We'll see.
Guys, tons of NFL coaching news. We talked about this on Monday. Josh McDaniels was reportedly and now is the Raiders head coach. So he's in there, the former Patriots offensive coordinator. And we also heard Jim Harbaugh is not going to the NFL. He stayed at Michigan because Harbaugh's name was being linked to the Raiders and then it was being linked to the Vikings. But yeah, he's going to stay at Michigan and he is not going back to the NFL, at least for now.
Yeah, I mean, do you think some of I heard, the Vikings, like you said, but I also heard a little bit of Miami, and then with what Miami's going through right now, did he kind of have to get away from that? And he's like, you know what, Michigan, maybe not so bad.
Yeah,
The
maybe.
NFL doesn't need another burnout college coach.
Like maybe he wanted to go, if you're Jim Harbaugh, maybe you want to go against your brother who's, the coach for the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe that, appealed to him. And, they met in the Super Bowl. That was pretty cool. That was very unique when the Ravens played the 49ers. But yeah, he's staying at Michigan. Oh, and here's another coaching move, and it hits real close to home because if you're a Rams fan, your offensive coordinator, Kevin O'Connell, he's actually going to be the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. So he's going to coach in the Super Bowl with the LA Rams, and then when the season's over, yeah, he's going to be the next head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe after Jim Harbaugh said no to the Vikes, now he's the guy, O'Connell.
Wow.
So the Rams, they got him for one more game, and maybe he's the secret behind Matt Stafford's success in that offense. But we'll find out. But he's got one more game, and it's the big one. It's the Super Bowl. Guys, here we are getting ready for Super Bowl. We're talking NFL, and all of a sudden, boom. The Olympics, the Winter Olympics in Beijing, China, coming right around the corner now. And, with the time change, I always like this question, guys, and I'll ask you this. With the time change, are you into it so much that you get up maybe at the crack of dawn or in the middle of the night to see your favorite event at the Winter Olympics because of the time change? It's on the other side of the world.
Yeah, it's tough with the time change.
I mean, there are certain times on the weekends I will get into it. I will either stay up weird hours to watch certain events, get up weird hours, but I love it because during the week, our hours are so weird anyway. When I'm in here early morning prepping the show, I get to watch some sports on the TV. It's awesome.
That is true for us. Since we're up so early, it can be a benefit to the early riser.
Yeah, you can only watch reruns of Sports Center for so long. Like if you can find live sports somewhere else in the world at like 2 or 3 a.m., you jump on it, I guess. So maybe you got some speed skating, hockey, whatever you might like. But we got the Olympics starting. And 40, you were telling me we got a couple local Olympians. I've heard of the hockey player before, but maybe a snowboarder as well.
Yeah, it looks like Maddie Mastro is a snowboarder from the area. Wrightwood is what I saw her listed as. And then the women's ice hockey player, Kayla Barnes from Eastvale.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for them.
There you go. Congrats. Cool.
Yeah, so you got a local rooting interest as we get ready for the 2022 Winter Olympics. And finally, guys, we're talking football, and we're talking about maybe one of the iconic places in Los Angeles, not SoFi Stadium, but the LA Coliseum, the home of the USC Trojans. But for this weekend, imagine this: the football field at the Coliseum is actually an asphalt track for a preseason NASCAR race, the Busch Light race coming up on Sunday. They laid asphalt. It's a real legit short track inside the Coliseum. I don't know if you guys have seen video or pictures, but it's pretty amazing.
I have. It is amazing that they fit it in there. It's basically an egg kind of shaped, an oval, small track rammed in there with a little
very small track.
Kind of pit wall. I'd say it's a quarter-mile track. I don't even know what it is.
It is a quarter mile.
A quarter-mile track, and then a little kind of ridge in the center, kind of like the Jersey barrier, what they call for a pit, kind of little dealy bob in the center. It doesn't look like very many cars could be on it at one time.
No parking in the infield, basically, is what we're saying.
No parking.
Zero infield.
Yeah, the infield is the pits because it's about 20 by 70 feet.
Yeah, wow. There's not much infield at all. And guys, it's like they went through all this effort. It looks awesome. I can't wait to see the race on Sunday. But like, I just imagine after the race, like someone's got to go in there and break up all the asphalt and haul it all out. Like, dude, that's a huge undertaking for a preseason race.
Right, and then grass for USC and all that stuff. That's a lot. They're not switching to sport turf as far as I know. I mean, that's natural grass field, the old Coliseum.
They could build a full-on NASCAR track inside the Coliseum, but won't put handrails anywhere in that place.
It's a damn good point, 40. It's a good point.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Maybe this is the reason to build handrails, bringing in all those NASCAR fans in there. So we got the Busch Light Clash Sunday, LA Coliseum, which is going to be very unique. And then we got the Daytona 500 the following week, and that will kick off the NASCAR season. And guys, actually, too, the NASCAR going back to their roots. Remember, they used to have the opening race, Daytona 500, the Great American Race, the Super Bowl of NASCAR, and then they would go cross country to Fontana at Auto Club Speedway, and they're doing that again. That's how the schedule is going to work out again. Daytona, straight to Fontana afterwards.
That's right to us. So we better get prepared. But that is kind of cool. We got something unique in the Coliseum.
Oh yeah, we get like back-to-back racing, LA Coliseum, then right back here for our race.
Our area is very lucky. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
Hey, check us out. It's Inland Sports. I know you're hanging out on the gram and Twitter anyway, so might as well check out Inland Sports, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and YouTube. That's Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep.